I remember this story. It was in the Priory, and there was a young man there, and one of his tasks had been to build a wall, if I remember. And he was very proud of it, and as soon as Gurdjieff came back for the day, he went up to him and said, "Oh, Mr. Gurdjieff, I built this wall, I'm so proud of it." And Gurdjieff immediately said, "Okay, take me to it, let's have a look." And Gurdjieff approached this wall and started criticizing every single part of it. The bricks, the cement, the angle, everything. He said, "Take this wall down. Take this down, it's terrible." And the man was crestfallen. And the wall was dismantled and everybody went to sleep. And in the morning, the wall had been rebuilt. And that student recognized the cost of that lesson, the cost that Gurdjieff had paid. Gurdjieff's teaching is the path of a sly man, somebody who breaks rules, so that he can work twice as hard as everybody else, so that he can do more and better and give more and produce more. This way of breaking rules is barely known to people. You break rules upwards. We are three-brained beings. What it means is that you have to develop yourself physically, emotionally, and intellectually. It means that tomorrow you must do more than today. This isn't like one of the other spiritual traditions when you can sit around and read and talk and blah 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 blah. Fuck, no one gives a fuck. Gurdjieff says that if you succeed, then you can have anything you want. Why? Because you will have become a powerful person who can do many things, who can simply do whatever needs to be done. Sail a ship, build a house, run a business, run a country, fight a war, anything. It is for the pioneers. Human society, as Gurdjieff had said, is stopped evolving. It's in a holding pattern. This whole internet thing, it's like everybody's clustering together and trying to keep warm. They want to save energy because Earth is slowly dying. We're not making energy, we're not making anything. I'm afraid the end is nigh unless pioneers arrive. People who can go into the unknown and bring something back. Do more than what is asked of you. Hello. Yesterday I was doing another practical task. In an unknown territory, I dismantled yet another sash window, and as I did so I noticed some problems that I hadn't expected, and I had no idea what to do with it, so I had to think calmly. I could feel that there was this a green peacock was sort of surging through. It was really like roused up because I was in trouble. I'd encountered things that I had not expected, and instead of a window I had a massive hole in my wall, and the weather forecast wasn't good and I needed to fix it. And this power inside me, this surging green emerald peacock, was pulsing. It wanted to throw itself into the action. It was the part of me that had power and knew how to deal with things. And so I was surging up the road, my bike, to the hardware shop and trying to understand what's happening, because that power needs to be channeled by the head. The Gurdjieff says that the head has to be the policeman. It has to be the director, not the doer. Because the head doesn't really live in this psychosomatic world, but it directs. And the power to do things in this world comes from the fighting peacock and all the animals inside of us who are part of this world. They can do physical things. And this is the subconscious that Gurdjieff talked about over and over again, to be able to do, to channel the power of the animals in the subconscious. The animals, because it's not one thing, it's fragmented. It's fragmented into different powers. There's part of you that's good in a fight, that's part of you that is good at putting on mascara and doing fine things. There's a part of you that with the hands can feel the touch of the spices you put in at dinner time. There's part of you that can hold a machete in both hands and slash your way through the jungle until there's vegetation spraying around you, up in the air. There's different rhythms to life, and different animals perform those rhythms. And that's why Gurdjieff called his students canary, crocodile, thin one. And that power from the subconscious has to find its way. That power has to be channeled into our potential. And the head is director. The head is like a gate. It opens the gate for the fighting peacock, or for the solid elephant, or for the timid mouse, according to what is needed. And these creatures can have tremendous power. I mean, who is it that makes love? Who is it that can play the violin so sweetly? It's certainly not the head. It's not its job. But these animals, they have force, they have power. And if you want something magical, they have it, because they exist as part of this world of illusions, this subconscious world which has fantasies and force and fire and hidden things and undercurrents and underworlds. It's not a fully formed place. It has many things here. That is the realm of magic, whereas the head is good at doing Excel spreadsheets and counting beans, and is a bit boring. But it is at a higher level. It has accuracy, sharpness, continuity. It has the potential to do that, and that's why it is director. That is also why in a marriage the man should lead, because being the hunter, his head is more developed than the woman. And there's a partnership, and that partnership should be nourishing, mutually nourishing. Of course, that kind of thing maybe is a bit hard to do now, and people have to work it out for themselves. Ultimately, everybody has to grow, and they have to fill in all the parts that they are weak on. When you do things that you don't know how to do, that's when that bullshit face comes to an end. That false self, that politician, that idiot, comes to an end, and you are reduced to the essential faculties, the three centers. I have my mind, I have my heart, I have my body, and I've got a problem, and I've got to solve it, and nobody ever showed me how. Now Gurdjieff grew up like that, and he faced those situations again and again and again under the direction of his father. He was reduced to the three centers again and again until he really understood the true value of it. Meanwhile, other people, not like him, other people were at school and cultivating that bullshit face. You know, the one who sits about in groups and they do the work, you know, the ancient work, this great work. I mean, is anybody actually doing any of Gurdjieff's lineage? Does anybody actually live like him? You know, I was thinking this week, negative emotions, negative emotions, negative emotions, emotions, negative emotions. You know, if you keep saying that, you're going to start to hate emotions. And then you can stay in the bullshit phase, you can stay in the Excel spreadsheet. Emotions bad, frightening, makes you feel out of control. And they are out of control. Right? For human beings, the value of the hunting mind is very important because it stabilizes things. That boring accountant, director, policeman in the head, he can make a single column on the left and a single column on the right. Very valuable if he acts as director. That's the hunting mind. He has his role to play. But people feel in control. They feel like an adult when he's around. They have some stability. Well, it's okay for now, but it's not going to be okay when you're dead. So what to do? Well, the director has to coordinate the magical transformation. One part of it is to work with the subconscious, to heal it, to speak to it, to harmonize it and organize it, to sequence it, to help it perform its duty, to help all the different animals inside of you make shit happen. You know? And the animals that can be depressed, they can be a lot of infighting, you need to sort it all out. And the director has to let go enough so that the animals flow. And that's an art. Now Gurdjieff was also educated by a priest. And he had something else. He had the sun above the director's head. He had a connection to the higher world. So there are three worlds. There is the director. There is the subconscious, which has the real power and magic. And then there is the open sky.